guys, welcome back. So today I want to talk about how to build a simple client app for DAO. My previous video I went through the high level design, and I went through the definition of a DAO. So please, if you haven't watched, please go back and watch that video before you can watch this video. Now, there are three things that I want to talk about. I want to go through the quick web app, Web3 high-level design diagram, and also I want to compare between Web2 because there's a lot of hype out there. People are going out and thinking like, Web3 is this new thing, but honestly, you just need to build on top of Web2. There's a big difference in infrastructure-wise, but in terms of actually building the application as application developer, there is really slight difference. So you have to actually take some of the skills from Web2. That's what I want to emphasize there. I'm going to explain this third web provider API. This will help us to connect to our web app, and I will explain it so we can understand here there. And also I'm going to explain so what we're going to do today, very simple. We're just going to connect our app with a signer. Our signer of choice is a MetaMask, and I've explained the law of the signer. The law of the signer basically is to sign transaction and also to be able to log into our blockchain network. Alright, so let's go to Web2 diagram first so that we can actually build on top of this. Give me 1 second. So if you have built before Web2, normally this is the high level diagram. This is a context you always have. You have a front end, you have a back end. The back end talk to the database. Of course, the front end talk to the back end. That is the Web2. Now, what is Web3 and what we're going to build for today's video? So I'll go and pull up the diagram for Web3. You can see the difference. See, the difference is not, in terms of infrastructure, of course, there's a decentralization, it's blockchain, so there's a huge difference out there. And how we deploy our application is a little bit different. But you can see we must have a front end, and there's addition of signer here. And there's a provider of choice. So for instance, the provider, we have like the front end talk to provider talk to blockchain. Now I'll explain one piece after the other. So let's start with the signer. The signer is, like I said, it helps us to sign into blockchain. It helps us to sign our transactions. It helps us to talk to blockchain smart contracts. That's all the signer. Now, then we have a front end. That's this normal Web2 front end, and then we have a provider. What is a provider? Provider is an interface between the front end and the back end. Our back end here is blockchain network. So there's a bunch of smart contracts here. So you need to have a provider in order to the front end to be able to talk to the back end. You need to have the interface. So interface here, I'm using the interface so that you can get the concept, right? The concept is actually to abstract a lot of details from the blockchain, and so the front end can have easy way to talk to a blockchain network. So just expose a few functionality, and then you can talk to a blockchain network. Now, the infrastructure, which is the infrastructure which you build the provider. They're different infrastructure, I would say, like different companies. So in MetaMask, I believe they do have their own provider also. They offer this type of interface between the front end and the blockchain network, and also you have the infra. If you Google infra, you'll see. And then QuickNode will be our provider choice, our interface. I would say like the provider of choice of our application which we are going to build. And then you have Alchemy as well. And then for a signer, like ours, we'll be using MetaMask here. Now, I'll really explain another abstraction layer. So you need to understand this, and you need to have a context of this when you're building Web3. You need to have the base. These are kind of like foundational, which you need to build upon. Now, let's go back to, I want to explain about the the signer a little bit more here, like I explained, like I've shown here on my the third web provider to connect to web app. So this third web provider is different from the provider which I've shown here. Third web provider is just it's actually, so let me explain while I'm showing this diagram, this explanation here. So third web provider is nothing but it's a signer. So the place that is a signer. But what this API third web provider does, it abstracts. So for instance, if I want to use MetaMask, if I don't have the third web provider, I have to go to the MetaMask website and actually download their manual to learn how to connect it to my web app. If I want to go to Coinbase, I have to do the same. If I want to go to Rainbow, if I want to connect to Rainbow Wallet, I have to do the same. If I want to go to Trust Wallet, I have to do the same. If I want to go to Agent, I have to do exact the same thing. So this takes a lot of time. So what the third web API does, it abstracts all these low level details, so it enables you to, just like if you want to connect to MetaMask, it's just a plug and play. And I will show you how to actually do that. So that's a key there. So you need to have the concept. And then in number 3, we'll just connect the button to our web app. So like I said, this is the basic. We're trying to build this link right here. On this video, I just want to build this link. See, so I want to build this link right here. My front end and my sign. I want to connect that. That's it. Okay. Now, let's go back to our application. I'll explain like I explained here. So this is React JS. So you can see, if you are new to React.js, like you normally have in React.js, you have 3 files. Basically, any framework, UI framework, user interface framework, you have the CSS file, you have the JavaScript file, and you have the index file, which the index file contains both the app file and the CSS file. So for React, that's a fact. Okay, so those are the basics. Now, like I said, this is just to connect with the signer. So what I did, if you go back to the app, this is our application now. You can see now, in order to connect to MetaMask, using this with third web API, you just refer to use MetaMask, and then you can actually get a connect with MetaMask, and then you can connect. You can just put that connect. Then you should be able to connect there. So like this one, I say if I don't have an address, I will tell my user, hey, please connect your wallet. If I already have the address, I will say success, your wallet has been connected. Okay, so that's it. And then this is just CSS, and this is our index.js. This is where you have to load your app inside this provider, which enable you to connect. Now, mind you, this is a chain. Like I said, this Go, I'm using Go as a test network, and this is a chain ID I'm grabbing, and then I'm actually providing that chain ID to my third web provider in order to connect it. That's it, guys. So now let me run this. You can see, like I say, this is just the terminal, and if I run this, let me change to bash. To bash. Okay, give me 1 second here. Let me clear that. Okay, now if I start with this start. So if I run this start, if I start my app, you can see I should be able to launch my application. Yeah, so I've already actually connected, so it says success, your wallet has been connected. If I press F12, you can see this is my address. First is actually was undefined, but now is I have the address because I've already connected. If you go to my wallet is right here. I'll show you my wallet. Just a second. Yeah, I think it doesn't show for some reason. Let me do here the sharing screen. Yeah, this is my ride. So I don't know if I do this to help. Yeah, this is my MetaMask. This is a text Gory test network. I have a dummy ETH. It's been connected because I already connected, so it's a success. Your wallet has been connected. That's it. Thanks guys for watching. Next video I'll show you more good stuff to how to actually build our contracts, and we can know our DAO contract. Thanks guys. Please subscribe.